Many people regard the civil rights movement as a thing of the past, a part of Black American history, but history nonetheless, and history it is.
But in many parts of it, our lives rests. It's still with us today. For example, the Move 9 incident in Philadelphia, which happened in 1985. It was May 13th, 5:27 p.m. Police were ordered to actually drop a bomb, C4 plastic explosive, on the roof of 6221 Osage Street. Boom, 2 survivors, 11 victims killed, including 5 children. 61 homes destroyed. 250 people were left homeless.
A terrible day. And joining us now to talk about what happened, why it happened, and what the aftermath is these several years later is Yvonne Orr-El. She is in Chicago, the daughter of one of the Move 9 members. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Why don't you tell us all about your connection to the movement and what it means to you?
Well, I have a direct line through my father, Delbert Orr-Africa. He is one of the original members of Move 9, and that particular incident where the Move 9 was infamous was in 1978, August 8th, 1978. Fortunately for my family, everyone has now been released, all of the Move 9, with the last being Chuck Africa this past February. My father got out in January. So in 1985, the Move 9 were still incarcerated when the gross tragedy occurred against my family. I also lost my sister, Delisha, along with other family members. So this 35th anniversary is certainly bittersweet, but to have everyone home is a complete joy.
Well, that's good, and we're very sorry for your loss. But such a thing has not really been seen since 1921, when on May the 31st of that year, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street attack happened. 40 black people were murdered, businesses and residences burned to the ground. Black shoe shiner falsely accused of molesting a white elevator operator. What can be done to prevent history from repeating itself again as it did in Philadelphia?
Well, for what I've been taught by both of my parents, my mom was a member of the Illinois Black Panther Party, a high-ranking officer, in fact, which is why I happened to be born in Canada. She had to flee, and shortly thereafter, after I was born, Fred Hampton Sr. was murdered in Chicago. So what they have taught me is to be aware, to know the truth, to look beyond what you're being told, and to do your research. There are still many people today that have no idea who the Move organization is, or the Move 9 for that matter, or the tragedy that befell an entire community. And were it to be something where they were more than a nuisance to the community, I can't think of any government, any municipality, anywhere globally that could justify dropping a bomb on family members and additional households. It is just something that you can't even speak on it. The pain, the passion behind what they stood for, what they still stand for, is really to uplift life. And the more that this is told in our school systems, if it weren't for the fact that I happen to be Delbert Orr-Africa's daughter, no one in my school would have known. I was 15 at the time when 1985 occurred. And then it's just like a blip. And I did see where the former mayor spoke on, that the city owes an apology to our family for those victims. There was no compensation. There was nothing but, the ongoing imprisonment, wrongful imprisonment, I might add, because logistically it's impossible for 9 people to pull one trigger. So, speak the truth, be aware, be learned, study, and definitely know about some of the travesties and the subliminal racism that still occurs today.
And so the families never got any type of compensation, is that what you said?
They have not gotten compensation on the level that I believe that we should have. And so there were very small amounts, but there was no offer to help us rebuild our home. And even with the homes that were rebuilt for other residents of the community, they were poorly built, so that they had to start over again and get yet another compensation package. So for the small amount that was provided at that particular time, it was not provided to all of the family members that lost someone. So there were 11 men, women, and children that were murdered. When my family tried to extricate themselves from the burning home, they were met with a barrage of fire. So I don't know if there's compensation that's just to be able to return the lives of the ones that we love that are lost.
Yvonne Orr-El joining us now from Chicago. Thank you so much. And again, we are grateful for your contribution. Sorry for your loss, but we're glad that you got your dad back home.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a good night. Be safe, please.
Yes, you too.